Hey everybody, how you doing? Sir Stevie here, bringing you my first Warzone tutorial video. In the video today, everyone, I'm bringing you 5 tips to help you improve in the Gulag mode. These tips help me get released from the Gulag around about nearly for my first 10 matches, I think. My first 10 times in Gulag, I think I got released from it. So these have really helped me out quite a lot. The tips aren't in any particular order. You'll see examples of them as well in the background in a minute or so of me using these tips to help me obviously get back into the game. If you haven't done so, please feel free to hit the subscribe and like button. It really helps me out a lot. I'm so close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm live streaming this game around about 8 hours a day, about 6 days a week as well. So if you like watching the game, feel free to drop by. It'd be really appreciated. Without further ado though, let's get straight into the tips. So coming into the first tip, everyone, this is one I really recommend. The one thing I never do in the Gulag mode is I don't rush straight away. The reason being, as we all know, with Modern Warfare, the movement has changed quite a bit compared to other Call of Duties. The time it takes to change from sprinting to having your gun ready is quite a long delay now. So realistically, if you just go straight sprinting towards your enemy, odds are they're not going to be doing the same thing. They're going to have a massive advantage because it's going to take you that split second to get your gun ready. They'll already have theirs ready. If it's something like a 725 or another shotgun that they're using, the fight's going to be over before it even started, really. So I really wouldn't recommend you rushing your opponent straight away. Moving on into tip number 2, this kind of links in with the first tip, and this one is basically don't kamikaze. What I mean by that is a lot of people, what they tend to do is if you manage to get hit early on and say you're on 50 health, that sort of thing, a lot of people when they're on half health, they'll then just think, right, I've got to go and rush this guy to try and make up for the damage he's done to me. Don't do this. This links in again to the movement issue. Your opponent probably isn't going to be rushing out. They have no reason to rush out. They don't have to try and get that health back. You know, they don't have to try and damage you the same. You're playing it straight into their arms. You're playing into their favor by just rushing them because, again, linking into that time to have to switch from sprinting to having your gun out, you're just going to give them the win even easier. Moving on then swiftly into tip number 3. This is basically equipment. A lot of people I see, they don't use the equipment in Gulag. The Gulag gives you the equipment for a reason. It is so useful, whether it's a Semtex, a Thermite, a Claymore. Claymores can be extremely useful. They're probably one of the most useful pieces of equipment because what you can do is you can slap the Claymore down, say, to your right-hand side and then cover the left-hand side or vice versa. Alternatively, a lot of people just don't use the equipment whatsoever. What have you got to lose by just throwing the Semtex or your frag grenade across the map? You might get lucky and kill him, you might damage him. It's only going to help you out. It's not going to cause you any problems really unless your opponent's rushing you. It's definitely worth the risk and it's definitely worth using. Flash grenades, stun grenades as well. They're really going to help, especially if it comes down to something like a shotgun where that split second you can get that one shot off while they're blinded and get the win. Moving on into tip number 4, this is basically don't be afraid to go for the flag. A lot of people I feel treat Gulag as simply you have to get the kill. What I'll tend to do is if the Gulag fight is going quite slowly after the first few seconds, the guy's not rushing me, I'll slowly start to make my way forward to that flag capture. The reason being, you can capture that flag in around about 3 seconds. If your enemy is camping back in the spawn, well, odds are they're not even going to react to it. There's not a major symbol saying that the flag's being captured. It doesn't really pop up on your screen. A lot of the time, you'd be surprised how many times I've managed to capture that flag before my enemies even had a time to react. Can come with a little bit of a risk because obviously you're leaving your left side and your right side exposed with it being in the middle of the map. A lot of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, this thing has only worked to my advantage because of the fact that it takes a few seconds for the enemy to get from the back of their spawn to the middle. By that time, you've captured the flag, you're redeploying, they're not. Coming in now to the final tip, this is basically one, it only really applies to people that actually own Modern Warfare. If you're one of the free-to-play players, I'm really sorry, this probably won't help you at all. But basically, what you can do to help yourself get ready for Gulag fights is playing the 2v2 gunfight mode on multiplayer. The reason being, it's the exact same scenario, it can be the exact same guns, the exact same health. This can really give you a lot of practice. Say, for example, you're playing Warzone for 2-3 hours, you might only have a couple of Gulag fights. You go and play Gulag, you go and play gunfight for an hour or two, you're going to get so much more experience learning how to cope with being shot and dealing with that when your opponent's on full health, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's it for the tips, everyone. I really hope that they've helped you out. If they have, feel free to hit that subscribe and like button. It really helps out a lot. Let me know in the comments if any of these have helped you. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.